Hello, my name is Shirley Fox Knowles, City Clerk for the City of Tampa, and this is Tampa's Oral Histories. Tampa's Oral Histories is a production of the City Clerk's Office and City of Tampa Television. The purpose of the Oral Histories is to capture memories of individuals who have made an impact on our city. The Oral Histories will be part of the city's archives. Today, we have the oral history of Gwen Miller, the first African-American woman to serve on Tampa City Council and a woman of many other firsts. Mrs. Miller has much to tell us about the city of Tampa and her time on City Council. So without further ado, let's hear from Gwen Miller.
My childhood was a very, very good childhood because being an only child, my mother thought that I should have the things that I needed, but not everything that I wanted. But, you know, I wasn't an only child because I had an aunt who was just 2 years older than me, so she was like my sister. So my mother took both of us and shared us with everything. Whatever I got, she bought it for her. So that didn't give me to be selfish. Wasn't getting everything I wanted and didn't get a chance to say I'm the best because it was just like two of us. And now wherever I go, people still think my aunt is my sister. But then growing up, you know, in a young age, I was like a tomboy. I wanted to play with the boys. You know, that time you get a broomstick and you break it off the handle and you get a tennis racket and you play ball in the street. I would do that. I would shoot marbles with the boys. But then I would turn around and be a young lady. I'd go back and I'd jump rope with the girls and I would play jacks with the girl, and we get our dolls and we'll play dolls. But you know, it was just so good to have someone with me because being an only child, I didn't want to be home alone when my mother go off, so we'd always go together. She would take me out of town. My aunt went with me. That was like my sister. If she bought me a dress, she bought her one. But then my mother became to be a homemaker. She became to be a seamstress. And she taught me how to sew. My aunt never learned how to sew. And she would make everything for me and make everything for her. We dressed alike. We would just do everything alike. So I wasn't selfish, and I wasn't the only child. Like some people say, I know you was selfish and you got everything you want. No, I did not. But I enjoyed every moment of it. I went to Lomax Elementary School, just one block from here. If you pass there, you see it on the corner. It's now Lomax Middle School. And I went to Booker T. Washington Junior High, which is not a junior high no more. But let me talk about Booker T. Washington. That was really a fun school because during that time, each morning the principal would come on the fire escapes and we'd have our devotion outside to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And all the classes would have to line up on the basketball court. And we would do a little precision marching before we would go into the classroom. And it was so fun because at that time I was a majorette. So the majorettes would lead their class into the school. And that was wonderful. I enjoyed that. After leaving Booker T. Washington, I went to Middleton High School, which is about one block from here. Now it's now, middle school is A.J. Farrell now. And being at Middleton was fun because then I became a cheerleader. A cheerleader I thought would be more fun than being a majorette. But I really enjoyed being a cheerleader because I went to all the football games and we went out of town with the team. Freshman year, I ran for student council office. I was the first freshman ever to be on the student council. Never anyone had won but the juniors and the seniors, so I was a part of the student council. My mom was really the main mentor because my mother didn't go to college. She just finished high school. Now she finished high school, she got married and had me. So that stopped her from going to college. But all of my aunts, uncles, all this was so close, they all went to college. So, you know, I say, I'm not going to sit around and do nothing either. If they can go to college, I can too. And most of my aunts was a teacher, and my uncle was a tailor, and everybody did something. We were just a close-knit family. Everybody just stuck together. We looked out for everybody. So those were my mentors because I saw them each and every day, the things they were doing. And I really followed their footsteps. A teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher because when I was in high school, I was always correcting papers for the teacher, doing something for
teachers
the no, just I was really into school, and I would really get involved in everything. I mean, anything they had, I was always wanted to be a part of it. So that's how interesting that was. I say, well, I need to do the same. I could help somebody like they're helping me. So I always wanted to be a teacher. My first job that I graduated from college was to teach a teacher. I just fill out an application, turn it into the school board, and got a call and say, you will be going to a College Hill Elementary School. And that was the best thing. I didn't have to stay out a year. I graduated in June. I was working in August, so I didn't get a break. But I enjoyed it. I was taught second grade, and the kids were just wonderful. Mayor Pam Young, she was a ninth grade student. She came there, she had so much determination, and she wanted to be so much, and I just got close to her, but started pushing her to be the president of the student body. Put her in we call it the SAC, was the Student Advisory Committee. She became president of that. And she was just a student that would just listen, and she would move, you know, and she would never say no. She always wanted to do the best for everybody, and she always had high hopes of moving on too, so it was good. We had just that good relationship. And then when she became mayor, that was really something. I'm working with the child I taught, the student I taught, and she saw me. She said we just hugged, and you know, just a great experience. And we had such a good relationship. As she is a mayor and I'm a council member, and everything was just great together. It was an overgrown lots. There was crime, you know, drugs on the corners. People just would throw junk everywhere, you know, and you hate to see your area so congested. Then there was houses bolted up that you want to make your city look better. So I figured if I could get on council, I can get this cleaned up. And I did. That was one of my first things I did, to get with court enforcement and ride around. I rode around the city with them and showed them what I was talking about. And it was cleaned up, and I appreciate it. To get 2 community centers built in District 5. One is Woodland Terrace, and then Northview Hills and Williams Park. When I became on council, all they had was playgrounds and no buildings, nothing to go in for the kids to do computer work or do their homework. And like I said, the constituents come to me, and you don't know this, and so they told me this is what we wanted. I said, you get it, because the mayors would have to do it, but I had a good relationship with my mayors, and I went to them and let them know what I needed, and they never turned me down because we had a good working relationship. So the first one was Woodland Terrace. We got that one built. And then they built, it was small, and then outgrown it too fast. And then that's when Mayor Pam came in. I went to her, I said, they have a community center at Woodland Terrace, but they can't use this, it's too small, we need to enlarge it. So she and I went out there and I showed her what I was talking about. She said, no problem, we'll get it done. And it was done. And then we worked on William Park. They didn't never have one. It was just that the kids need to come out inside for, you know, do computers, still playing all day outside under the trees and all that. So she said, no problem, we'll get that one done. So I did get 2 community centers for that area, and they appreciate it. My dream for Tampa would be to be a real close-knit community. Everybody's so spread out now. You don't see anybody that you used to see. If we could all come back to be a close-knit city, not spread out, because we got so many areas, Tampa, Palms, Brandon. And when I grew up, you didn't have that many areas, so we were so close-knit. You just knew just everybody. And everybody was friendly. Everybody went to the same places. Everybody did the same things. And I think we need to get back to that, and we would have a better city. Like we said, it'd be the next great city. That would make us the next great city for everybody to be more close-knit and working together. I would like for people to remember me as a people person that was always there for them, person who was willing to help them, person who never said no to them, And whatever they wanted me to do, I was willing to do it and help them. And just remember, I was a person that they really wanted there to be serve them.